Okay, we're talking with the Reverend Michel Faulkner, who is running for the congressional seat in the 15th District in New York, which for a long time had been known as, quote, the congressperson from Harlem, the Harlem District. But actually, it's a district that goes well beyond Harlem and covers a lot of areas of northern Manhattan as well as the Upper West Side. In your website, I think when we checked for the things that were your priorities, nowhere in there did you even mention Latinos. You want to try to correct that now?
Well, absolutely. When we put up the website, you know, we put it up as a general website to be able to draw people to who is Michel Faulkner. We're beginning now to start walking that district. I just got off the phone with with a business leader, a global business leader. We'll be taking trips to the Dominican Republic, to Puerto Rico, and to Haiti, to the Caribbean, in order to develop commerce and some enterprise opportunities. We're actually starting in 2 weeks. We're starting a micro enterprise loan program. And
which means
that we'll be able to help assist in making small dollar loans from $1,500 to $50,000 for people who would not normally qualify for bank loans. And so we're not going to be competing against banks, but we're going to be assisting entrepreneurs and people in the community that need assistance with businesses and business enterprise. Honestly, the thing that we need is the energy, the thing that we need in America. America was built by immigrants. And we need the energy, the entrepreneurial zeal, the hard work, and the desire that immigrants bring to the table.
Speaking of immigrants,
yes,
what's your position on the law in Arizona, and more generally, after that, your position regarding immigration reform?
I think the law in Arizona is, while I understand it, I think it's stupid. Because I think it hurts a lot of people. It leaves itself open to racial profiling, and I'm sorry, in no way, shape, size, or form should that ever be okay for Americans to feel like they are somehow singled out simply because they look like someone who is involved in a criminal enterprise. As an African American, I've felt that my whole life in many places around. However, I do understand what Arizona's problem is. Arizona's problem is in no small part due to the lack of the federal government to give that regency aid and assistance in maintaining its borders. Now, concerning immigration reform, I think we need to fast track, we need to figure out ways to fast track those people who desire to be here and who can contribute and offer. I mean, you want to talk about a way out of the deficit? You want to talk about increasing the gross national product? You allow those people who have a desire to be here to work and to pay taxes on that which they work. And
well, they already do.
They already do. Well, exactly. But a lot of people who are not here, who are not documented citizens, you know, many times work off the books. But
yes, in the hidden economy, as it were.
In the hidden economy.
You're in New York. You're a Republican, and by and large, you know that in New York City in particular.
I'm also an independent.
Okay. All right. So you're an independent as well. But you know that in New York City in particular, Republicans are practically an endangered species. I'm wondering, to what extent does Reverend Michel Faulkner identify with the politics and the agenda of Republicans in the Congress right now?
Well, let me tell you, I don't identify with the Republicans in the Congress right now for most of them because I don't think they understand. I'm a Republican not by convenience, but by choice. I'm a Republican because of Frederick Douglass. I'm a Republican because that party came into being to liberate people and to set people free. That party came into being as an abolitionist party. I'm a Republican because throughout the history of America, all the civil rights legislation was put forward by Republican Congress or Republican presidents. The United States Armed Forces was immigrated by a Republican. The NAACP was started by Republicans. So all the racial advances that we have, including the 14th and 15th Amendment, were put forth by Republicans. So we need to understand, I am a Republican that understands the history of the
Republican Party in the modern period post-1960 been identified pretty much as hostile to civil rights and hostile to similar measures?
No. David, you got to know your history.
I do, but go ahead.
Okay, Lyndon Johnson was the president who put forth the greatest in our modern day era,
Civil
but he
rights
needed
package,
the
yes.
civil rights package. But he needed to the Republican, the Dixiecrats were the ones who were holding
And
the
they were
fire
Democrats.
hoses, and they were Democrats.
That's right.
They were holding the fire hoses and the dogs. They were the ones. You know, Martin Luther King, by the way, was a Republican. Okay, and so I mean, and most black people were Republicans up to the time
Up to that era, yes.
up to that era, and so. We have to look at the history of where we are now. Let's fast forward to today.
Yes.
Do Republicans get it today? No, they don't. But that doesn't change my heart. That doesn't change my conviction. That doesn't change what I stand for. I'm a proud black man. I understand who I am, and I'm not apologetic about my political position. I believe that we should have less government, not more government. I believe that we should promote that the government's role is to preserve, protect, and defend the liberties that we enjoy and not to infringe upon them. I don't believe in a government handout. I believe in a hand up. I believe all of those are core Republican or conservative values. And guess what, David? I believe that they resonate with the Latino community.